Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're new here, my name is Christy and I post all kinds of different videos here on YouTube about stay-at-home mom life, homeschooling, house cleaning and keeping, and all kinds of things in between. So today I thought I would continue the Q&A series that I started a couple of weeks ago. I never finished answering all of the questions, and I think there's some really good questions from you guys that I definitely did not want to neglect to answer and chat about. So I'm going to continue this Q&A series maybe weekly or bi-weekly. So if there's something that you would like to hear answered or more conversation about, please let me know. I would love to chat about anything that interests you guys and kind of just give my thoughts. So here we are. I'm going to continue from the community tab where I ask for questions here on YouTube, and then I'm going to try and go back to, if I have time, to my Instagram post and get to some of those questions. So I'm going to continue on. Let's see. Ashley Davis asked, I homeschool my son. Do you have tips on the harder subjects? Math is my weaker subject. We watch Khan Academy and use IXL for practice. So yes, I am not good in math either. I really love algebra, but every other kind of math is just not my strong point. So what I have done this year is outsourced the homeschool math to an online program we're using right now, teaching textbooks. And I think that's 100% the way to go. If you have a subject that you're not super comfortable teaching, do that. Get an online course, or maybe even like a tutor in that area that can do those lessons, and I think that's 100% okay. I absolutely love having Mason do his teaching textbooks online. We're doing the, I think it's 4.0, where he does watches the lessons, he does his practice problems, and then it actually gives him a grade at the end of it. So I don't do any of that, and he is doing so well. He absolutely loves getting the grades, and it gives him a lot of motivation to increase his grades in math. And so far, it's been an answer to prayer. So if I were you, if you have a subject that you're not super comfortable teaching, I would definitely recommend doing like an online course, or teaming up with another homeschool mom that is wonderful in that subject, and maybe you're strong in another one, and maybe you guys can sort of tag team the homeschool subjects in that way. So that's my recommendation. It works really well for us so far. I love it so much. Mackenzie Gano, I think that's how you pronounce your last name. How was making the switch from working as a nurse to being a full-time stay-at-home mom? And how did you deal with people's opinions? Okay, so the switch from being a nurse to being a full-time stay-at-home mom was wonderful, a breeze. My heart has always been at home. If you guys have been here for a long time, you know that I have wanted to be at home with my kids for so long. I have begged and pleaded with the Lord for that possibility to become my reality. And so it was a very seamless, wonderful, easy peasy switch. A lot of people have asked if I miss, working, and I really don't. I really, truly don't. I love being at home with my kids. And the only thing that I do worry about a little bit is if I do need to return back to the workforce. Sometimes, it's not real easy once you've been out of the game for a while, and you have to sort of get back into your skills and everything, and that can be a little bit stressful, but I've done it before and I know it's totally doable. It's like riding a bike. You're a little rusty at first, but once you get back in it, it just all sort of comes back. And so if I did ever need or want to go back to work, I think that, it'll just be like riding a bike. I think it'll come right back to me. So as far as dealing with people's opinions, I'm not sure what what you mean by that. My opinions about me coming home. I don't know. I have gotten more hate, I know, in the online world for working than for coming home. So back right after Solomon was born, we were going through a really tough financial time, and honestly, like, he was 4 weeks old and I had to go back to work, and it was a necessity for us. It was where we were at, and we were dealing with a lot of different things at that point, and I was literally bashed online for going back to work, and it was absolutely excruciating. I could not wrap my head around why anyone would treat someone like that who was making such a self-sacrificing decision, you know, to go back to work. And it was just excruciating, and that was honestly the moment when I really took a step away from YouTube, and I stopped daily vlogging because it was really damaging for me, like emotionally and personally. And I realized that I just realized how mean people could be, and that they didn't know anything about my situation. And I think that, and this is really sad, but, and I've said this a lot before, but I think there's like a really big stigma in the Christian community toward working moms. And I do feel like moms have a really important role being at home, but I don't think that's always a possibility. And I think that we need to be supportive of women in the workforce if they need to be there, that are balancing working and raising children, and maybe even homeschooling on top of that, like I was doing. It is a massive load to carry on your shoulders, and it's one that, instead of tearing people down, we should be just really holding them up and encouraging them. So yeah, coming home was the easy part. Working is the hard part in dealing with people's opinions where that's concerned. But you know, let me just encourage you that if you do find yourself as a working homeschooling mom and you're trying to balance it all, you can do the hard things, and you can do it gracefully, and don't listen to anyone who's trying to tell you otherwise. Just stay strong and be confident in what you're doing and in the work in the sacrificial work that you're doing. All right, let's see. Gwendolyn Loria says, I would like to know if you've ever had a natural birth without pain medication. Yes, I have. I have had a couple of natural births with no medication, and those are really beautiful births. I had Gavin completely naturally, did not have any sort of anything. And so, okay, yes. So I had Gavin completely naturally, and then I think I had Maddie, let's see. I had Mason naturally as well. Maddie, I waited until, honestly, I was getting an epidural and she was coming out simultaneously. So I count that as a natural childbirth because I didn't really ever get it. So I've technically had like 3 natural births, and it was amazing. And I have had births that were natural, that were less painful than some that I had some medication with. It's different every single time. So birth is just a very, I think, personal thing, and some people choose to do it medicated, which I've done, and some people choose to go natural, which I've also done. And it's just so different every time, and you just have to be okay doing wherever your mind is at that time. Just be okay with that. And so I do not look down on people who get epidurals, because I have been there and gotten them and had wonderful birth experience with epidurals. And then I've also done the other route, and it was wonderful as well. So definitely no judgment from me. Let's see. Do you still work at the hospital? This is Stacy Smith's question. Are you and your family planning on getting the COVID vaccine, and why or why not? Thanks. So I am not working at all. I'm not PRN or anything right now. You know, I'm home full time, so no hospital work for me. Thank you, Jesus. And we are not planning on getting the COVID vaccine. I won't be getting it, and my children won't be getting it. And the reasons for that is because, and everyone has their own beliefs on this, but I am not going to be doing the COVID vaccine because I have done some research about what it is, and I don't feel like it has been properly tested to be mass administered right now. I don't think that I want to take that risk for my health and for the health of my children. We have already had the COVID virus, and I feel like there are less risks for my family with getting the virus than with getting the vaccine. that may be different for everyone. If you have chronic illness, if you are like, you know, an older person, you know, you have to weigh those risks yourself and make an informed decision. And there's, again, no judgment from me either way if you want to get the vaccine or if you don't. And I support everyone's right to choose whether they inject something into their body or not. And I don't think that any kind of vaccine should be mandated. And I think that we should all have liberty to do with our body what we want in that regard. So yeah, I don't think that we should be forced to get vaccines in order to participate in society. So no, we will not be doing that. All right, let's see. Mary Shawbetter says, do you and Jimmy make time for date nights? And we used to, but right now, because we have no family in this area and I have not made a lot of good friends in this area yet, and so I just we don't have the options for childcare right now so that we can have date nights. I don't really think Mason is at the age he's 11, just turned 11. He's not old enough to really handle all the kids here by himself. So no, right now we don't do date nights, but I really, really think that that is a problem in our marriage. And I think that we need that very, very desperately, because every marriage needs some alone time. And when you have a lot of kids, there's no time. I mean, there is just, that is a struggle, you guys, to find time just for yourselves. And yeah, you just have to work hard, you know, to make moments. And a lot of the time we find our moments super late at night, and I feel like I have sacrificed my sleep a lot for making time for my marriage. But if you want to know the truth, it's just worth it. You need to invest in your marriage, and even if that means losing out on sleep. So we're working on that. Hopefully we'll get back to date nights very soon. Let me go back to my Instagram account and see if I can answer some of those questions. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, please head over there. I mean, if you want to. It is Christy.organizedmom, and I'm really active in my stories, but sometimes I'm not super active. I'm not as active in my in like posts, so I need to do better at that. But all right, Shayna Bug 8 asked, what are my current thoughts on head covering, and did the contact hurt my eye after I fished it out of the sinkhole? Any progress on finding a new house? How's Jake and Gavin? What hot teas are you enjoying lately? And this isn't a question, but Sam looks a lot like Jimmy. Okay, so a couple of things. My current thoughts on head covering is that yes, head covering is amazing and wonderful, and I think should be done. Me personally, this is where I'm at with it. My current thoughts and feelings are corporate, like when we go to church, wearing a covering there. If my husband were to request that I wear a head covering every single day, I would do that. The head covering is a symbol of pretty much our submission, and where we fall as far as women in the hierarchy that the Lord has kind of put out before us. So like God, Jesus at the top, our husband, and then us. It's like a submissive symbol that we wear, and a respect symbol that we can put on. My husband does not, you know, care either way if I cover my hair on the day-to-day or if I don't. So sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And I think for corporate prayer and worship, it is 100% like it's a very good thing, and I think it's a wonderful thing to do to show your true submission to Christ and to your spouse. So that's where I'm at with it right now. A lot of the churches in our area have just been closed, and so we have not found a home church in this area yet. So for now, I'm only covering my hair just, you know, whenever I feel like I want to, and my husband is okay with that. So the contact, she was referring to a video where I dropped my contact. It actually went into the hole at the top of my sink. I fished it out, and no, I just washed it off and put it back in my eye. It didn't hurt at all. And then I mentioned Jacob and Gavin. They're wonderful. They're great. Jacob's going into the Marines in less than a month, and Gavin will be, and Alex will be coming to spend some time with us before he leaves at the end of this month, and I am excited for that. We're going to have some family pictures. I'm stoked. And then the new house, we found our house. We're moving on June 4th, and I am busy packing the house up. I am so excited. We have lots of plans for this new house, and sprinklers are coming on if you guys hear that. Yeah, I'm just so excited. Like, one of the biggest things I'm excited for is we have a very big backyard that is fenced in, and I am so excited for that the kids will have like a really safe place to play. And our house is actually dead center of a cul-de-sac, so I'm really excited for that. The kids can kind of use that area to play, and there are a lot of children in this neighborhood, and so I'm really excited for just so much about this house. I'm really excited about. So there is a lot of natural light in this home, a really large kitchen. The upstairs has 3 bedrooms and a loft, so Mason will have a room, Maddie will have a room, and then Samuel and Solomon are sharing a room, and then the master bedroom's downstairs. Ideally, I would have liked to have had the master upstairs as well, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. The housing market has been absolutely horrific in this area. So we jumped on this house as soon as it came available, and there has been almost nothing since then. So we were really fortunate to get this home. Yeah, I'm really excited. It has more square footage, and there's so much about it that I love. It has some built-in bookshelves. Let's see what else is like some of my favorite aspects of it. There is a screened-in back porch, which is fun. And yeah, so I'm just really excited. I'm counting down the days to moving day. Moving has become kind of a part of our life. We've moved countless times. It's something that sometimes makes me feel sad when people are really judgmental about it, but I have to remind you and myself that, wow, we are really, really blessed and fortunate. We have lived in a lot of wonderful places. We've got to experience a lot of different homes. My kids are so blessed and spoiled. They have absolutely everything they could ever ask or want for. And, you know, the fact that we've moved around a lot, I would say, is not to their detriment. It's been to their benefit. And so all judgmental comments, you know, I have to like just kind of let flow and go on by, because a lot of people don't understand, you know, unless you've walked a mile in our shoes, you don't understand where we've been. So, like I mentioned before, we're moving again because the homeowners have decided to come back to this home and move in. So it was out of our control. And I've learned in my life that man can make their plans, but it's the Lord that directs their steps. So we just know that the Lord's going to take us where he wants us. And so you have to just be flexible and go with that. And yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. And yes, Samuel looks just like my husband. Most of the kids do. I think that Solomon looks a little bit more like me. But yeah, most of the kids come out looking just like their daddy. As it Micah Leanne 73. She's been around for a long time. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful friend and follower. Asked how I deal with anxiety and fear. Okay, so that one's deep, and I'll probably end on this question. So, because I might have a lot to say about this. I have been struggling, and this is something that I've kind of alluded to in my videos, but I haven't really dug really deep into them because I don't want to like tear up and start crying. But like, I've been dealing with a lot. See, I'm just saying the word cry makes me cry. I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and fear lately, and it has nothing to do with like moving and things like that. I think I'm going through like a midlife crisis or something with my son graduating high school and going into the Marines. And then I have my other son that I don't get to see a lot, which really, even though I don't talk about it a lot, like it crushes my heart on a daily basis. And so for some reason, I have been like really struggling with anxiety and fear over the past few months, and I will go through phases where I'm okay and phases where I'm not sleeping at all. So again, here lately over the past few weeks, I have been struggling with severe insomnia, and I feel like I do fine during the day, but at night I'm not able to sleep, and I wake up with almost like a feeling of, in the medical field we call it impending doom. And that's how I feel. Like I feel this sense of impending doom. I start to get extremely like short of breath. I get worried. My mind is racing on so many different things. You know, I told Jacob yesterday I was worried that about him going into the Marines. I'm worrying that, you know, I don't want him to feel forced to do that. I don't want him to have anything to prove. I want him to do the things that he wants to do without fear of judgment from us or anyone else. And I just have all these like, I don't know, I start to feel like guilty. I start to feel that life is going by too quickly. My kids are growing up too fast. Like, am I doing the right things or am I failing? And I know that this is all sounds like lies from Satan, right? But it's just where I'm at in my life. And I think that it is probably normal for the life changes that we're experiencing right now. But it's just a lot, you guys, and I'm really struggling with it. So I pray a lot in the middle of the night. I ask God to just comfort my heart and give me that peace that surpasses all understanding, and that just allow me to trust in Him, that He has everything in the palm of His hands, that I don't have to worry about it. It's not going to add a single second to anybody's life, and it's only going to rob me of my joy. Throughout the day, I am reading chapter by chapter through different books of the Bible, kind of sporadically. I'm not going in any sort of order, and I try to meditate on verses that stand out to me. And then also just kind of talking to my husband about the way I'm feeling, and kind of getting his support and input has been very helpful. But you guys, it's just a fact of life. I think we all deal with some level of anxiety and fear, and it's part of being a human. And the important part is just to keep moving and not let it paralyze you, and then be open and honest about it. And that's what I try to do in having my YouTube channel, because I feel like whenever I'm open and honest about the things that I'm going through, I get a lot of people that are saying, I'm going through that too, I feel like this, and then they can even share what's helped them. And I think community and being able to have that type of support has been the most beneficial thing for me. It's just knowing that I'm not alone, and fear and anxiety is just something that we're just going to have to learn how to cope with and deal with, and make every day as good as we possibly can, even if we're going through hard things. And so last night, I broke down and took a half of a Unisom that I had in the medicine cabinet from when I was pregnant. And you guys, I slept so well. I didn't wake up, but this morning I felt really groggy and like I'm not quite there, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out how to handle this sleep problem that I've been having. And I don't know why the anxiety hits me in the middle of the night, but that's the way it's been for months. And so I'm trying to cope. So if I ever look really, really tired, that's probably why, because I'm just not sleeping very well these days. But I think that's probably, oh, there's one more question here. Okay, so Heather Kesner asked, do you read devotionals each day or just read the Bible, read and study the Bible, or any Bible apps? I use YouVersion on my phone, and like I just alluded to, I love to slowly work my way through a chapter in the Bible, 1, 2 verses, or 3, depending on how long they are and how dense they are. And I like to read them slowly, and then anything that jumps out at me or makes an impact on me, I like to write it down in this journal that I have. And then the journal that I have, and I think I might do a dedicated video just to show you guys the supplies that I use, but it has like a separate column out beside the lines, and I just kind of, beside the verse that I wrote, I kind of jot down any thoughts or feelings that I have about that, and summarize like what it meant to me, or what I feel like the Lord is saying to me through that verse. So it's been a really wonderful way for me to reflect on God's Word, and I like to go really slowly when I'm reading Scripture. I'm not using a devotional right now, but I do have Charles Spurgeon's Day and Night, I think it is. And it's really interesting. I love Charles Spurgeon. I love A.W. Tozer. Those are probably my two favorite kind of go-to for books apart from the Bible. I really love reading their insights. Yeah, so that's pretty much going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Like I said, head on over to Instagram, follow me there at christy.organizedmom, and be sure to subscribe if you're new and leave a comment down below so we can get to know each other a little better. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again very soon.